West Virginia will allow law enforcement officers to complete some of their mandatory annual training by serving in school safety programs. Governor Patrick Morrisey held a signing ceremony today at Guyon Elementary School in Parkersburg for House Bill 2802. The bill, which was passed by lawmakers during the recent legislative session, allows law enforcement officers to substitute up to 8 of their required 16 hours of yearly in-service training for hours served on site in a school safety program. Morrisey says this will benefit the schools in terms of safety while also helping officers meet their training quotas.
Our legislature came up with a number of creative solutions. And one of them was to get more officers involved in school safety, but to do it while you're rewarding them in the process.